Hey y'all, welcome to the Medicinal Melange podcast. This is an update. I know I've been gone for about 2 months, I'm going to be honest. However, I wanted to send y'all a quick update and let you know when the next episode is dropping. So, first of all, last August, I went ahead and took a vacation, which almost never happens. I will take a day or two kind of vacations, but this was almost a month of just focusing on me and my family and our nervous systems. I got to travel around to the national parks, which the national park system is one of my favorite things to explore here stateside, of course. I went to Disneyland, I went to Universal Studios, I got to eat everything that I wanted to, which definitely, although it does not agree with my Virgo tummy, definitely one of my favorite things to do while traveling. And yeah, so that's how I spent my August. And then when we got home in September, honestly, between the eclipse and Saturn starting to retrograde back into Pisces, which is the opposite of my rising sign, and there was just a lot. Eclipses are known as emotional tripwires. They're pulling up what we thought we were very done with. And for me, it was kind of old ties around friendships that have brought me to this point and supported me up until this point, but that I am very much done with. And for no other reason than it just was really obvious. And the things that were giving me the ick, right, became obvious and it became too much. And I was like, okay, let me look at these themes that are coming up for the eclipse, and is something like this going to serve me moving forward? And before we think that this is just a therapeutic session where I talk about all the things I've learned over the eclipse, I also want you to be honest. Did the last couple weeks feel like anything specific for you? Was there money fear or self-doubt? Did you say that you would go to something and then the world just got a little heavy and you're like, I don't belong there. I don't belong anywhere. These are kind of the things that come up during our time with the eclipse seasons, but also this really clears out. It pushes us to our brink, to our threshold, and then it clears out that old energy as long as you're letting it. And honestly, we're spinning and heading towards this full moon coming up next month, and it's definitely going to be an emotional checkpoint. It's going to be where we say yes to things right away. And if we've done the work and cleared out the stuff from the eclipses, they're positive yeses. But if they're not, you might be acting out of impulse just to feel like you're moving and making progress. Because let me tell you, during my readings that I get in person or when I meet with my Sun membership people, it definitely has people feeling stuck, almost like they have to fight or they'll be sucked into the quicksand type thing. And so what happens is, if we're not clearing out that old energy that we had from eclipse season, I know we're only a couple days past the solar eclipse, so we're definitely still in the window. So just hear me, but don't, turn around and take a bunch of action. But, if you're pushing forward without this strategy, it might lead to some sort of burnout. So I definitely recommend everybody to either do what I did and journal a fuck ton, or however that looks like for you. Touch grass in some way so that way you get grounded. A lot of my water signs, your water signs, you always go through it, but especially right now, it feels like you're treading water, and we need to look for safety on land. If you are about my age, you probably have some sort of Pluto inside of Scorpio in your natal chart. And for us, that watery Pluto is squaring Pluto that's in Aquarius by transit right now. Yeah, it's needing us to find some ground, we're done treading for the transformation and swimming and swimming and swimming in the very deep transformational waters of Scorpio. And now we need some land. We're like, okay, I might not know what I'm swimming toward, but I know I can't keep swimming in this water forever. And that's really what we're looking at for eclipse season and moving forward. So some of the themes that I've heard over doing the readings the last 2 months in this state in California. I had a blast. By the way, if you've gotten a reading lately, thank you so much. I've been able to give so many people clarity, and I've gotten so many emails, and I just want to take a moment to verbally thank y'all. But the themes that are coming up a lot for me that I'm seeing, not for me, but that I'm seeing, is like being mad when things aren't moving as quickly as you thought, people moving too slowly in your life, work is moving too slowly, but also that causes us to do that Virgo thing where we want to jump from one thing to the other. Like, okay, as long as I'm working on this thing, it'll be good. And I know for me, it has manifested as going from project to project without finishing anything. And this is definitely like because, well, a lot of things, right? ADHD is a thing. But even just my Aquarius 6th house, I just am a little erratic when I work, meaning I context switch a lot. We get an update on our phone and we're like, oh shit, what now? And then we go ahead and we try to focus on this one thing, but then somebody calls our attention to another task at hand. Honestly, saying that I needed to do more instead of asking, is this right for me, was probably my first personal red flag, because I feel like I was having to convince myself that I was losing the momentum. And if you feel this way, know that you're not. It's almost like we're running laps, but just in a circle. We want to keep running and going towards our goals, but we're hitting that 440 over and over and over on the closed track. And that's why we have especially felt exhausted, because we lean a little too hard a lot of times into this capitalist race that we're in. I'll be honest, what's today? I launched the Moon membership yesterday, and the Moon membership is really something my clients needed, something I needed, and a container that I've been working on for a year now. So I'm very excited that I got to launch that. That has been a tremendous thing to come out of my time off. But with the Moon membership, I have designed this way of working with the astrology and some behavioral psychology behind it, but I've created this moon method where I completely get people unstuck. I get them off of this rat race that we feel exhausted on, to be honest, whether it be in your love life, in your professional life, in your personal life, just with your goals in himself. And it has been so lovely to see people in this container that I've been working on behind the scenes come out completely brand new, but like almost immediately. This is not something that takes months and months and months. Accountability is important and follow through is important. So I do have the Moon membership, a 9-month commitment. But yeah, it's just been wonderful to watch. So I officially launched that. And there's the component of using your astrology and these patterns that happen within astrology and applying them to your life. Because if you can identify the patterns, you can identify the astrological events that will unbreak those patterns, right? And so I'm doing that, but I'm also able to offer in this Moon membership that I'm unable to in my Sun membership, a community feature, because I was looking at all of these studies of loneliness and this lack of community. And let's be honest, that's why a lot of people join organized events, organized people, places, and things, right? Is they want to have that community. And so I needed to bring community to you all, because in our current day and age, it's not always the safest to be like, oh yeah, I unhooked that pattern off of the wall and got my life running full steam ahead after I used astrology. Sometimes that's not safe. You can't go to every boss and say that and be supported. So I wanted a place where y'all could meet, and I can meet, right? To support our wins together, to learn together, to ask the questions that maybe are hot takes and not feel anything but supported. And that's really what the Moon membership is about. We have monthly gatherings right before the full moon, actually 3 days before the full moon. And we learn something, we have a little bit of woo-woo magic in there. And then that's also a time where you can learn a new ancient way and apply it to your own full moon practices as well, if that's what you choose to do. And then there's that one-on-one component that's really invaluable toward working through our own issues and our own stagnation. So that way we can get off of this rat race and really into this full moon cycle, the dark moon, the quarter moons, all of these little moon cycles. They mean something. That's our natural rhythm inside of our body. And the quicker we learn and align with that instead of this rat race, the quicker that we can feel this flow of energy, this flow of abundance within our own life. So yeah, that is what I've been up to. I've been clearing out old energy that is not in alignment with my future self, especially as I am looking at my Cancer 11th house. If it's not nurturing everybody, I don't want it. And helping people, obviously, over the last 2 months I've been away, and really setting up this beautiful program, which is the moon. And now that it's up and dropped, I feel like I have more space to meet with clients and more space to, more importantly, for those of you listening right now, record the podcast. So with that said, I will be dropping the next episode, which is the best workouts, herbs, meal plans, lifestyles for the Scorpio type, this Friday, which would be September 26th. And then thereafter, every Friday, I will be dropping new episodes. I would love to know, whether it's in the comments or otherwise, after we get done with this series, what are you trying to learn with astrology? Do you want to know new techniques, or would you like to maybe learn a little bit about herbalism? Like, what do you want to know? Let me know in the comments or email me. I'm always available. Elizabeth@themedicinalmelange.com is my email. Also, if you have not already, definitely sign up for my emails. If you head to themedicinalmelange.com, there's this beautiful purple pop-up that comes up that asks for your email. And as an offering of gratitude for placing your email and letting my emails come to your inbox, I give you a free 12-house breathwork guide. It's beautiful. I created it so it has the Virgo lens of how do we make this most efficient? But it basically walks you through the 12 houses, helps you learn the basis of the 12 houses, and it also has an accompanying breath work for each one. So if you're having issues of finding who you are, maybe you're feeling blocked, see what house your sun sign is in and do the breath work for that to help create or alleviate rather some stagnation that you might be having. So yeah, head to themedicinalmelange.com, drop your email, get that breathwork guide. And then also every month on the new moon, I send out an email with a special link that will give you an option to get a pay what you can reading every month as a community offering. So that's just some of the extras. Sometimes I send out coupons. Sometimes I, drop new products via my emails first before anybody else gets access to it. So definitely check it out. And until then, I will talk to y'all on Friday with a new episode for Scorpio. Bye, y'all.